Alright, it is time for another drawing in the dark. My name is Levi Smith. I may have said that once or twice before. And today I'm going to be drawing Terminator from the Terminator movie franchise. Evil AI robots bent to take over the world and destroy humankind. And this one was a little tricky. It really is one of those kinds of pieces where I wish I had the chance to talk while I was drawing it, because my thinking through this process was pretty dicey at times. Trying to get a number of figures, trying to show like the scope, because these are mostly just like drones, right? They are independent, autonomous kind of robots and stuff, but really, then there's the Skynet system. These were specialized units, I think, that were separated, able to work autonomously and stuff. And for one thing, I wanted to switch up to another sub-theme within the drawing videos. I was doing supervillains before. Now I'm going to do robots. I'm going to do 10 robots. Doing the Terminator robot first kind of gave me an opportunity to get a little bit into the concepts of artificial intelligence, AI, and how AI is nowadays, how we're perceiving it, what is it doing. Most of the attention that I see that it gets is really with like the ChatGPT type stuff, Midjourney, other kinds of algorithmic generated kind of, procedurally generated kind of materials that really are built off of these data banks of information that then, the system can procedurally generate new combinations of that information in ways, and we've seen how, it definitely does not always work. But outside of, say, like creative and entertainment type content, the music, the pictures, the deepfakes and stuff like that, they have been able to do some really interesting stuff with AI, and how they've been able to apply it to really large data sets that would just take humanity, way too long, and have taken humanity, really large amounts of time and resources and stuff to go through, to test, to get to various stages of development, understanding, cataloging, and then application, cross-referencing of this information. AI has really been able to help with stuff like that. I had read that there's some project where they used AI to essentially do these 3D models of protein chains that had been taking a really long time, up until they were able to use, these generative AI technologies to then extrapolate based off of existing three-dimensional protein chains and the chemical molecular combinations, the mapping that we'd already done, and to take all of that and then create actual 3D visualizations of a lot of how these protein chains look in real life. Because not just chemical interactions, but like geometric kind of interactions happen on those levels and stuff, on how things fit together, I guess. And so with how AI has been able to, really, and for a long time, I have had this thought that everything that can be automated will be automated. It just will. If it can be done by a machine, we're going to have it done by a machine. Doesn't mean entirely that it's going to be replaced, that it's going to replace humans. I won't stop making art just because, machines and computers can make art, and even faster and cheaper, and to some degree, better. And that's, that's a viable threat. I have more issues with like how they collect that data than necessarily like the concepts behind the technology of generative, these procedurally generated kind of technologies. But everything's going to be replaced. Everything's going to be automated in such a way that bridge design, building design, civil engineering, a lot of social engineering, and that even sounds pretty scary and stuff. And that's where that leads to almost like an inevitable kind of Skynet, where it might be better for society if the if the machines govern us. But then we have to actually make sure that the machines that we design to govern us are well suited for the task. We've already found a lot of prejudices and stuff that have been inserted in a lot of let's say unintentional or naive or ignorant kind of ways that then influence some of these AI systems to actually behave in ways that are more and more prejudiced towards various different groups for whatever reason. And a lot of it is what kind of data we choose to include with these systems, because you can easily leave out certain information and to guide an AI system towards a certain level of conclusion, jumping to various conclusions that may not be correct in reality, but correct in the sense of the information given to the AI. And so, and even if we tell these machines to keep us safe and to maintain peace, that could end up being, the conclusion on that might be just putting us into little boxes and walking us like pets, socializing us like pets, keeping us fed specifically and exactly to these, generated kind of understanding of needs, which would be based off of information, because it couldn't necessarily, especially now, AI can't really derive new conclusions. It really is going to have to work off of pre-existing conclusions and then route through a matrix of complexity to reach which conclusion to apply. And so, it's not like it's really going to be able to innovate new ways of doing things, just innovate new ways of getting to old solutions. And that isn't necessarily a good idea, especially when humanity hasn't really been too particularly kind to humanity through the course of our history. There really isn't any point in time in human history where we've been really super incredibly nice to each other in a general sense. And so, to me, that and how these generative systems actually work with their data sets, it leads me to believe that it'll just come up with similar conclusions, or similar paths to the conclusions that we already have arrived at, and that's not necessarily going to help us if we rely on say automation to govern people and humanity. So it's tricky, where artificial intelligence, as it were, is going, and its potential, its danger, the advantages, the fact that it is now an available technology that's not going to go away. It's just going to be implemented more. It doesn't matter if you like it or not anymore. Similar to other very dangerous kinds of technology in the world, from firearms, mass communications technology, nuclear weapons. There's all kinds of technology out there that it's not going to go away regardless of how you feel about it. And it will be used, and it will absolutely be used for nefarious purposes. And so it ought to also be used for beneficial and thoughtful purposes as well, at least to balance out the bad that is likely to be done with it. Because there ain't nothing that humans have gotten a hold of that haven't used it for, bad purposes, or self-serving or dangerous, malicious, violent purposes, as much or more so than they ever did good purposes with the object. whatever it is, whatever technology or innovation. So yeah, it's going to be tricky, and it's definitely, here at a tricky time for humanity, for people, for America, for society in general. These are strange days for sure, and the emergence of these, and they're not fully autonomous kind of intelligences, but it's definitely another step. We are leading into what will lead to the next greater step of complexity. And in an odd sense, as we do move forward with computing power, independent kind of development technologies, and stuff like AI, thinking machines, we always end up pushing back that threshold of artificial intelligence. And is this, an independent artificial thinking machine? Is this like humans? Is this behaving like we do? And, we keep pushing that back. I don't think that these new systems are quite like people, obviously. It still has a long way to go. But, at this rate, on this track, we're going to get there. I think we're going to end up with a machine that we won't be able to differentiate if it's real or not, in a true kind of like Blade Runner sense. That even they wouldn't know that you could convince a machine that it was human and alive, and that's some crazy potential there. And I definitely think that we would be moving towards that, whether we want to or not, whether it's good for us or not. People will, and just like with cloning, and with all kinds of these other sci-fi kind of technologies and stuff that keep becoming more and more real. It just a matter of time. It really is. And it's hard to say if it's going to be good or bad. But the drawing turned out pretty good. It did, like I said in the beginning, I ran into a few snags. I was really worried about the complexity, trying to balance out various elements, layering it out. I just went with some generic sci-fi kind of gun with this guy. That stiff kind of marching pose that all the Terminators had, in the flashback shots in the first movie and stuff. I really wanted to stick to something like that. Kind of got a little oversimplified with the background, but I just wanted the background to create like a little bit more like a apocalyptic ambiance versus get all crazy with any kind of perspective or anything like that. So, but even still, those elements, even when you're going to do them half-assed, still, still take a little bit of extra effort. You still got to blend them into the scene, in my opinion, at least. But let's just take these last couple of minutes here before I get to the outro and just watch along. I'm never really sure when I should try to work in a little bit of quiet time or like a pause from all the talking and stuff. But usually I guess it's just going to have to work out when I run out of stuff to say. But you made it to the end of the video. Check out the podcast, Pop Culture Classics, where my buddy Kenny and I talk about pop culture classic stuff. There's the activity book and the All Skulls coloring book, and the comic book planner. Those are all books that I've made that are available on Amazon. Go ahead and check those out and buy them. That would be awesome. We have t-shirts. Go to our online store, jademonkey.net, and check out the t-shirts. We've got a whole bunch of different designs. Some of them are really awesome. I mean, I enjoy all of them. And yeah, so thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking things out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give it a like and subscribe, and we'll catch you later. All right.